Truly a maddening day of racing in Pontarlier, out in the eastern side of France in the Jura Mountains. A rough day, a day for attacks, a day for escapes. But who wins? A rider known for his bunch kicks. A rider who sprinted to victories in the Giro d'Italia and the Vuelta a España. And now in stage 20 of the 2025 Tour de France, he adds a stage of this race to his palmars. Australian Kaden Groves from Team Alpecin de Koenig, who's already had their taste of success already from day one. Jasper Philipsen, who unfortunately had to abandon the race. Mathieu van der Poel as well. And today, the rider who Van der Poel was helping to try to win sprints, bunch kicks earlier on in this race, does it solo. And there was some fighting that played out that allowed him to move free. But let's take it back to the start of this day, because it was going to be a hard-fought day all along, with climbs always up and down, everything around 700 to 800 meters. A tough day with teams desperate to get a stage victory before the final day in Paris tomorrow. Early in the day, we saw Casper Asgreen from EF Education hit out, but it was their rider, Harry Sweeney, who made the escape with Matteo Jorgensen, Tim Wellens, riders from the two top teams. Jorgensen, teammate of Vingegaard. Wellens, already a stage winner in Carcassonne, teammate, of course, of Tadej Pogacar. In that move as well, Frank Vanderbroek from Team Picnic, also in there. Jake Stewart from Team Israel Premier Tech, and our eventual winner, Kaden Groves, as well as power hitter, Spanish champion, Ivan Romeo. Don't forget Wellens is our Belgian champion. In there, Romain Gregoire, Matteo Trentin, Simone Velasco, and this group would work its way free through the day, but not get too much time. A key player in that move, though, from Total Energy, setting 11th overall at the start of the day, Jordan Jagat. And he was only 4 minutes off at the start of the day, behind 10th place, 10th overall, and our winner at the Col de la Loze stage, Australian from Perth, Ben O'Connor. And once that group started to get more and more time, well, his panic station back in the Peloton group. In that group, well, it was scattered with riders from Team Jaco Alula. The riders were losing strength, losing power, and at one point we saw Ben O'Connor frustrated, having to come up and do work himself. The most difficult climb of the day, well, that was that second last climb. And on that climb up front, we saw Sweeney and Jagat attacking, and Jagat attacked first, Sweeney joined him, and then Sweeney was upset with Jagat the way he was working, and he went at it solo. Jagat, of course, was gaining time on Ben O'Connor, and the riders in the escape were pretty frustrated with him in the move, because that meant they can never get enough time. But turns out they did, because they broke the spirits of Jaco, and we saw a really frustrated Ben O'Connor when he crossed the line here. And I filmed him coming across the line. I tell you, he did not look happy. He's going to be upset, but at least he comes away with a stage win in this 2025 Tour de France. Now up ahead, Sweeney tried his way, and the rain was coming down. He was bunny hopping road furniture left and right, and the roads were slick out there. Fortunately, never had the rain hit hard, at least during the time of the finish. At this point, Sweeney was eventually caught back, and then things were really happening. It was a very liquid situation back behind. We saw Van Aert attack in that move up front. He had his own teammate with Jorgensen. Jorgensen and Wellens were marking each other all day. Then we saw this crucial moment after Sweeney was already pulled back. We saw this moment where Ivan Romeo slides out right before this right-hand turn, maybe touches brakes a little bit, maybe hit that manhole cover. We're not quite sure. Fell down on his right-hand side. So did Romain Gregoire as well from Team Groupama FDJ. Both of those guys sliding out. Looked like Romeo had it the worst, and it's really too bad, because he was the one of the main instigators in this attack, and I think the youngest rider in this Tour de France. I spoke with him this morning. Such great spirits, good vibes when you're speaking with him. Someone like Luke Plapp or Jack Haig, always a pleasure to speak with him, and always a smile on his face, and it seems like he's gaining so much experience in this race. And unfortunately, he's gaining experience today with crashing and hitting the deck hard. I thought he had abandoned. He was on the ground for such a long time. Romain Gregoire got up and got going a little bit quicker. Ivan Romeo, the cameras went off of him after we saw that crash a few different times. Did not look good. His jersey completely ripped, his shorts, just everything holding on barely. He was able to get back up, and at least from what I could tell, he finished, because I just saw him a minute ago riding by with it looked like his mother at his side and the team staff at his side, everybody trying to comfort him as he was riding towards his team bus. Fingers crossed he's going to finish his debut, his first Tour de France tomorrow in Paris. Get well, Ivan Romeo. As this crash was happening up front, we had this move with Vanderbroek and the two top sprinter guys, Kaden Groves was riding well all day. Jake Stewart, you'll remember him from a stage win in the Criterium du Dauphiné. Those three up the road, and you could tell Stewart was not happy with Vanderbroek and his work and the way he was contributing in the bunch from Team Picnic. And of course that's the case because he was riding away with two heavy-handed sprinters. And Kaden Groves just put his nose down and kept going. Jake Stewart, frustrated at one point, just sets up and said, well, look, man, I'm not going to keep working. If you want to win this stage, you work. And neither of them did. It was reminding me of what happened on the Finestre with Carapaz and the way that situation played out with Isaac Del Toro, and up the road went Simon Yates. And that's what we had there. We had a bit of a stalemate. And Kaden Groves, the rider you'd expect to win from a bunch sprint, does it solo. 16K from the line in Pontarlier, Kaden Groves on his way to victory. Once he was away, as we've seen so often in bike racing in this recent years, an escape of one rider, well, he's favored. And Kaden up ahead was getting that favor. What we saw with Tim Wellens, I'm not talking about motorbikes and things like this with the TV camera. I'm talking about because behind we have a bit of cat and mouse going on, riders who don't want to cooperate, and Kaden Groves just dedicated to one thing only, driving ahead to victory. And he pulls off the victory here in stage 20 of the 2025 Tour de France. And back behind, well, it's Vanderbroek who picks up second place on the day. And when we saw the bunch coming in with the frustrated, dejected Ben O'Connor, another Australian who was just out hand gesturing all day, even having to do a lot of the work himself, knowing he was slipping from 10th to 11th. The prestige in saying, I did a top 10 at the 2025 Tour de France, and the prize money that comes along with that. The team will be frustrated as well, but there's nothing he could have done. I saw Mauro Schmid patting him on the back at the finish there, saying, hey, sorry, man. And Schmid was even banged up as well when they rolled in across the line. Ben O'Connor frustrated, and when that group came over, we saw another crash in the main peloton. Fortunately, Tadej Pogacar was okay. We're going to have to look down the results list to see who hit the deck, and hopefully all of our riders, including Ivan Romeo, will finish and head into Paris tomorrow. But on top, stage 20 of the 2025 Tour de France, it's Kaden Groves, the Australian, not in a sprint, but going solo.